Hello everybody, it's Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and we're just going to make a dozen little lady cards, tiny little note cards. And I'll wait for a few people to come in and give you the measurements for the cards, because I pre-made the cards. That's what I do if I'm going to make a lot of the same thing. I will make the base of whatever it is up first and just have it. So I've got a dozen little cards right here. So all we got to do is decorate them. And we're using the little card bases that I made, and I'm going to tell you how I made these. This is kind of the idea that I did this the other day with just a couple scraps that were laying on the table and a white gel roll pen, and I made a card. So that's why I say don't throw your little bits out. Always keep your little bits, because you can take them, glue them down, and turn them into something else. Hi, Ray. And then I've got a stack of little bits, and it's just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some wipe-off papers, that kind of stuff, and then just some smaller pieces from projects I've got here that I was just working on. I can add them to the mix. Some strips, just little bits of stuff. So that's those. And then before we get too far gone, hi Nancy, I went over in the side yard and picked some of these wood violets because they're popping up all over in the side yard. And I thought y'all that are in the Great White North, where it's still covered in snow, might like to see some violets. Hi Tanya, are you home? Are you home now, or are you guys still traveling or at the place? So that's just some little wood violets. There's these, there's just one of these in the cabinet. I wish there was both of them, but they're salt and pepper shakers of old Pepsi Cola jars. Can't really watch while you're driving. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for stopping and saying hi. So we got some little wood violets to make a little happy spot on the table. Oh, I finished the bee box that we started the other day. Here's the bee box. I put some glitter glue on his wings. And this is the ATC box I designed and made. I drew the plans up for it and just did it up. And sometime later, I'm going to give this away. And it's got some goodies in the box that I'm not going to share. That'll be a surprise for whoever wins it. So if you just got here, hang around. I'm going to give the box away. All right. So I don't know who all would like to make some little ladies with me, but all I'm going to do is, right now, all I'm going to do is just cut some squares out and whatever and glue them down. But first, let's do this, okay? The card bases. You take an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. I use the heavyweight card base. Hi, Kathy. And cut it in half in both directions. So on the 8.5, you're going to cut it at 4 1/4. So you end up with two pieces that are 4 1/4, 4 1/4. Then you're going to cut your 11.5. Your 11 at 5.5. So you'll end up with 4 pieces. Each piece of cardstock will make 4 little note cards. And the reason I'm doing this is I've noticed a lot of us, when we get Happy Mail, we like to put the cards inside a journal. And I thought this size would be perfect for tucking in a pocket. And it was small enough a clip could hold it if you had to clip it to a page. So that's why I'm going with this size. Okay. So once you get your paper cut in half this way, cut in half that way, take one of these, and along the 5.5 inch side, you're going to score it at 2 3/4, which is half of 5.5. And that's what gives you your card. So here's the 4 1/4 by 5.5. Score it 2 3/4, then fold it, and you've got your card. Now the mat, I used black because I like how that looks with the white gel roll pen. But I would not be opposed to using something like a really dark purple, like an eggplant, or a dark midnight blue would be cute too. So any color cardstock that you would like to use as your mat, you cut it at 2.5 by 4. And then I just put 2 strips of tape on it and stuck it down. So now we can turn these into cards. And I'm going to try to keep them so the folds are all to the left of me so that I don't put a girl on upside down. And I want to just I'm just going to use some glue all. And I'm just going to cut some shapes, and I will just cut them, not with a cutter, just with a pair of scissors. Like this would be a cute little girl right here. So basically, let's see. I'm just going to cut this down through like this. That would give her a little body, and then she just needs a little square head. And I could actually get 2 out of that. And you don't have to worry about gluing it on straight because our little girls are going to be dancing. So if you just take them and just stick them down, don't worry about getting them perfectly straight. This is meant to be quick and easy. Now, if you wanted to, before you glue them down, if you want the white edge of the paper to go away, just use your marker. And of course, I always like to do this because I kind of want it to meld into my background. Just going to do that on these 4 pieces. I'm going to mark the edges like this and then just randomly put the 2 pieces down. Just as so long that it looks like a head and a body. And the rest of the whole thing is drawn on with the gel roll pen. And yeah, just marking on the edges to cover whatever the base was I used. I think this was just the card out of the cat food again. And if we get these made quick enough, I might work a little bit in my envelope journal, but I'm going to see what time it is when I get these finished. Because once I start doodling, you might find I'm on here longer than I thought I'd be to make 12 little ladies. I need 10 of these for the swap people that said they wanted to swap with me. So I did those. I'm going to glue these down. I guess it would help if I got it all the way open, eh? Just drop it and let it glue. I don't worry too much about the glue oozing out, as long as I don't get a big puddle on it. As it dries clear. All right, we'll just set that aside to dry, just so I don't get that on there. If you would rather use some other kind of adhesive, feel free, whatever's your favorite glue. Show your little lady again. That's why I say you don't have to worry about these being even and everything because she's dancing. I need my wooden block. I'm not sure where I laid it. Looking for it. Just need something to go on here to hold this down for a minute. So all you're gluing on is like her torso and her head in the square of a shape. I mean, in the shape of a square. Oh my word. See, I didn't even give her a neck. her head's just kind of floating there. If you wanted to go into more doodly detail, you can. That's entirely up to you. Where is my wooden block? It's driving me crazy. Oh. There's that one. Now, come on, wooden block. Make yourself appear. Here it is. I knew I'd been using it. I think it's time after this week. I'm going to have to clean back up because, wow, yeah, things have kind of exploded. All right, so there's a couple I'm going to do with a square head and a square body. I might actually put them both under the wooden block. They're small enough. Put them side by side just to hold them down flat. And now if you wanted to, you could do her whole dress. Just give her a square head, but then do like a triangular shaped rectangle. I really like this paper. I'm going to use some more of this. So I'm going to cut out a couple squares for heads. So make sure my fold's going the same way. So there's a head. It's a little big for this little card. Let's cut that down. So the squares for her head need to be about a 1/2 inch square. I am not measuring them. I'm just guesstimating. And then I was thinking for a little dress, if I cut this in half, this little scrap, and then leave the top part where her neck would be like that, and then just run the scissors to that bottom corner. You could take your piece you just cut off like Tanya does to make tags and cut the other side. Okay. And then I just add little feet and arms to that one. Let's see, do I have another piece? What happened to that other square I just had that matches? Oh, right here. Never mind. This has got a little bit harder thing. Hi, Teresa. So you choose how you want to make their little bodies and stuff. If you want them to be little chunky girls, you can make them little chunky girls. See, I didn't cut that one at enough of an angle, so it doesn't look quite right. I'm just cutting them to satisfy my vision. There we go. That's better. And again, I'm just going to glue the heads on. Oh, wait, don't glue them. We gotta go around the edge so we don't see that edge. I skipped a part. Oh my goodness. It's good I didn't put the glue on or I'd have a sticky mess right now. I'm gonna put this marker where I can see it more easily. But I thought how fun these could be to tuck in with my inchies and twinchies swaps. I still have to make like 20 more inchies. And I have 10 names, but I don't know if people that I don't have their names on the list are planning to send them to me and whether I need to just keep making inchies and twinchies or what. I do have a list of 10 people. I'd like to get these in the mail by the beginning of next week, the inchies and twinchies swap. This was just part of a dirty dozen, I think, left over from something. I don't know. Or some other prompt session. So save your bits. Whenever you have them ready, Mindy, That's fine. Like I said, I still have 17 more inchies to make. I've got all the twinchies made. I was been working on them while I watched. Let's see, who all have I watched today? Lisa, Packer Dye, watched some of Mary. I caught some of Mary this morning. I think that's it because the rest of the time I've been cooking. I've been cooking and watching other people do art, and I've got a mountain of dishes in the kitchen because I haven't taken time to do the dishes. So what I'll probably do is put somebody live on my phone and have you sitting on the windowsill out there while I do dishes. All right, so we'll set this up here, and I'll use that block. Hi, Barbara Clark. And remember, you guys, this is a, you choose who you swap with, and you keep up with who you receive from and who you don't kind of swap. And I had kind of set a limit of 10 people, but if somebody sends me some, of course, I'm going to send them back some. That's just how I am. Alrighty. Put these under my piece of wood. Well, these look like they're sticking down pretty good. Maybe hold them flat for a minute. Okay, so now let's see. What do we want to do now? I have to have a piece that's large enough for a head and a body. I was thinking how cool it would be to put this like lace over something else. Maybe make her head a little square out of this. And then maybe do a body or a torso. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Whoops. My scissors have so much sticky on them. And we'll make her skirt out of this. I'm just going to make a little snip so I have her torso at about the same spot. So put that down. And then I'll just cut from my little snip over. And then if you cut it wavy like that, give her a little skirt like that. I might make her torso and her head just a little bit smaller. Make her head smaller. Okay. Hi, Carol. Hi, Sharon Marlowe. And Joyce and Kathy, Mitz, Barbara, Beth. I get so sick of getting postcards of people wanting to buy the house and flip it. We've been getting them down at our house that we will eventually sell, but we don't want to buy it for, sell it for what we paid for it just so they can flip it. The whole idea is we get all of our equity out of it. So we keep telling them to leave us alone. Well, now they've started in on this place. This place doesn't even belong to us. But I know my sister-in-law has no plans of probably ever selling this place here at all. I just like to darken the edges that are exposed. I know it's probably silly, but it helps it blend into the background a little. And I figured if I got all of the components glued down, then I could take as much time as I want on the doodling, or as little time. Should have probably glued her skirt on first. That one would have probably gone better if I'd put it in my sticker maker machine, because I'm going to have a lot of exposed glue with all the little circles. I hadn't thought about that till just then, after I'd already put the glue on. All right. I'm going to put this one on top of that one, and then just put that on there to hold that down. Oh, goodness. Hi, Joan. All right. I would try to punch some circles out, but I broke one of my punches, and I don't want to break any more right now. This could be a cute one. This was off my file folder project I did with Tanya that time, and put a bunch of gesso on and put my knife in it and raised it so it looks like veins are in it. Let's do a little head. Get a card over here. Not quite small enough. Needs to be about a 1/2 inch square for the head for this size card, I think. All right. And then I think I want her to have a torso out of this darker, where I did a stenciling of a dark circle here. And then maybe, ooh, look, I could turn it over and use the inside as her skirt. What I'm doing is I'm just kind of eyeing where the waist would be here. Oh, I got to lose my sweater. It's hot in here. Now, if you wanted to use some of your decorative scissors along the bottom of her skirt, you could. Ugh, gotta lose that sweater. Let me make sure the heat's not running. It don't need to be running. It's hot. I'm going to see if I can open this window right behind my table. So if everything kind of goes kablooey, you'll know why. I just want some air. Oh, come on, for Pete's sake. Oh. Gotcha. It's better. Much better. Of course, now if a breeze comes up, I'll have all of these paper pieces in my lap. We're going to be all good with it though, right? I want these to lay flat while they're drying. I love listening to the birds. All right. Tanya popped in and said hello. They're on the road, so she said she couldn't stay. Okay. Hopefully they won't stick together. I'm just going to put them in a pile over here. And I'll put this little girl under the block. All right, so we're getting there. We got half a dozen left to do here. This could be a cute one. I want to get her in proportionate here. There we go. And maybe. This is a very thin girl. Might have to shorten her body and thinning her up some more. Well, that little dog of yours is just too mischievous for her own good. We got Scott's car back. He got it all aligned. And then when he got back here, he decided to, he said, but vacuum the compost pile out of it. Because with all this rain, you know, every time you walk across the grass, because we don't have a sidewalk here, we walk across the grass to get in the car, all that stuff sticks on our shoes and then falls off in the car. So I guess he had reached the max that he could deal with. So he took the time to vacuum that out today. And when he said, I was just vacuuming out the compost pile, I had visions of the veggie bed that we dug and put grass clippings on it out there. And I'm like, you did what? And he looked at me so funny because we were not communicating well, apparently. And he looked at me like I lost my mind, and I looked at him like he'd lost his. But we got it squared away. He's like, well, I was wondering why you were looking at me like that. We wish we could put a little camera on Tippy because he goes on a grand adventure every day. If you don't like glue spots and that kind of stuff, you'll have to just be more careful than I am with the glue. I just figure I can doodle my way out of it with a white gel pen. We're getting there. Let's find, I don't want to do any more like that. Let's see. I wonder if this piece is enough that I can get a head and a body out of, or at least a torso. Let's see. We'll cut a little bit for the head. There's the head. Right, and I can probably get a second little body out of here. Let's bring her down farther because she's just a little girl. There we go. And this one I'll put up higher and add a skirt to it. Now, if you don't want to use white gel pen like I did on this one, you can use colored gel pens if you've got some that'll show on black. I got bleach on my shirt. Oh no. That's not good. Yeah, as long as they come back home, that's what counts. Don't recognize the number. That means it's usually bull poo. We only have a few more that I have to glue shapes down, and then I can start the doodling. The doot, 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 doodly, doot, doot, doot. And again, I'm just running this along the edge to kind of cover the whatever the material is, if it's mixed media paper or just junk. Oh, you know what? I bet that I know who that was. I bet that's the lady I need to talk to about setting up the heating and cooling stuff, but I'll call her back. I thought she would have called me earlier. Oh, goodness. I bet that's who that was. I'll sign off and call her before it gets too late. But I wanted just a fun little card to stick in with the swaps that I send out. So that's when I came up with this idea. Just set that on there and let those dry. We got what, 3 left, and then we'll doodle a couple. How about one that's purple? It's a head. And a body. You can do 2 like that or similar. And just give her a little head. I know it just looks like 2 pieces of things. Uh-oh, Holly. Well, we're just doing some little dolly cards that look something like this one. Post office always takes longer than you think because you never know what you'll walk into of, the line, that's for sure. Must have missed something, Beth. Love the exclamation point. Well, it's going to be a little girl. It's going to be a girl. But it could be an exclamation point. And I just like to darken the edges again. I was watching Lisa a little bit ago, and I saw Mary popped up a video. She must have been working along with Lisa because she popped up a fabric journal project too. Mary gets bonus videos done by just working along with us. She's sneaky like that. But that's fine. That's a good idea, really. Work along and do an unlisted while you're working along. And then when you get done, you can just click it to be open to everybody. Yeah, look from this angle, they do look like exclamation points. So for anybody that got here late, I made these cards out of 1 sheet of heavyweight cardstock, and you cut it in half both directions, and then you take 1/4 of it, and along the 5.5-inch side, you're going to score it 2 3/4, and that will give you your little card bases. And then the mats, I used a full sheet plus half of another one to come up with enough mats for all of my cards. And you cut those at 4 by 2.5. Where's that clear thing? It's right here, Becky. All right, so we need just the one left, and then I'll start doodling. And then I'll probably have to get off here so I can call that lady. If I don't call her and get it set up, then I'll have to drive down there tomorrow, and I don't want to. Although Greg sounded kind of disappointed that I wasn't coming down. We're still going down, but it won't be until the weekend. This one actually says art on the front of it. Her head needs to be smaller. Here we go. All right, last one. Oh, whoop, almost messed up again. You love this card? Are you making one, Mary? This is a good way to use up all your little bits. And you don't have to just make the little girls like I'm going to. This was just an idea I thought would be fun to have different little girls to mail out to with the inchies and twinchies swap. Now you can take these, and like I did on Mary's card, and you could even mix them up with all of your scraps and just make a tile design. You'll have to look at Mary's opening of my mail this morning, because she opened the mail and one of my cards was in there. All right, so that's all the gluing we have to do. I've got all 12 cards have something on them. All right. I'm going to flip my whole pile over, and we'll start with the first one that I did. Now, white jelly roll pen. I have a stack of them here. Some of them look empty, so that's why I pulled out more than one. I don't know. And the first thing I did on that little girl is I gave her some hair. So you decide how you want your hair to go. I gave her curly hair. Okay, and then I just gave her some stick arms. And a hand with a thumb. And she's dancing, so her arms will be all different ways here. And they don't have to, didn't even care if they were the same length or anything. This is a nice long dress, so all I really need is the bottom of her leg and a foot. If you want to add more detail than just stick figure legs, you can do that. And we'll give her some little puffy sleeves with some little lines to make it look poofy. So you just decide what you want to add where, and make them however you want to. And then I gave her a border. So I just did a little squiggly line around the outer edge. And if you want it to look like she's stepping through, you just skip a little spot where her feet are. And you can add whatever you want. You can put a second row, because see, I did a second row around. You can do just little hashtag marks and make it look like this is some kind of wire or something that's just tacked down here and there. You could do dots instead of a squiggly line. However you want to add a little border. Callie. So there's one little girl. See? Let me go let Callie in. I'm going to leave it cracked so you guys can come and go. But do not bring a snake, a mouse, or anything in. You hear me? Hope you're listening. Putting it on your gotta-do list. Okay. And see, you could even give them straight hair. Maybe she's a punker. We'll give her some stand-up hair here. Maybe give her a little bit of a knee showing. Then come down and give her her foot like that. These are just meant to be fun and quick to do. Oh dear, Holly. Maybe this girl's got because they're small, they spin really easy. If you just bump the edge, they spin around on you. Maybe give her sticks. Maybe she's got socks on. Give her a foot. And you could decorate her dress up. Put lines in one. Maybe some circles in this part. Squiggly lines here. Zigzag down this one. And then your border. You love the puffy sleeves. Maybe we'll do her curls up like this. Give her some hoop earrings, maybe. She's going to need a little skirt of some sort too. Maybe just give her a striped skirt, like a cheerleader skirt. She's got some short legs, but we're going to let her go with it. Yep, they're simple and cute. I want to do Rosemary Morris's tongue depressor journal thing because I bought some tongue depressors. Oh, good, this one. Yeah, let's see. What kind of hair should she have? Let's go back to the curly hair. I'm probably not going to get to work on my envelope journal because I do need to call that lady back. I forgot about that phone call because I thought she was going to call me right after lunch, and she didn't, and then I forgot. Hi, Cal. How you doing? I saw you got some neat Happy Mail the other day. I'm just doing some quick to make little cards with your scraps even. She's not a very good dancer. She tries. And on my sample card, I had put UBU, but these are so small, I would just write a note on the inside. And I had added musical notes to that one, my sample too, but probably not going to do that. You bought the tongue depressors too? That little journal Rosemary's been doing is just so stinking cute. Of course, I have to try it. This is how my hair looks in the morning. I was just sitting here one day and decided to just deal with some of my scraps, and that little gal came to mind, and I said, ooh, I could do that. Let's see, I can add a little skirt. And then her leg lines could just become lines on the skirt. And you don't even have to know that it used to be a leg. She looks like a voodoo priestess, I think. And you can change your borders up too and do squiggly lines or circles and stuff, like I said earlier. That part is entirely up to you. Like just, you might want to add a circle here, maybe one up here. Oh, I'm trying to put them so you guys can see them. Running out of room here. These little girls will be out of sight a little bit, but you can make room. Oh, I'm glad you were able to stop in. Let's, this is a little girl, so she needs, she has a ponytails. I used to have ponytails like this when I was little. I always had really thick hair. It's just a note. Ha ha ha. Somebody's. Oh, it's DJ. He's leaving. He makes it beep because he knows my cats go over there. Not that the cats would be up in a car today. It's hot. 75 degrees, I think, is what it is here. It's 82 down at our house in Columbia area. I don't know why I'm giving her such long thighs. Whew. Poor thing. She's got tiny little feet. Hope she don't fall over. We might work on the envelope journal tomorrow if I don't have to drive to Columbia. We're getting there. We got what? We got exclamation point. You saw some snow on the high mountains. Let's do, maybe she's got on a tutu. And one of these can be her legs come down. Somewhere I have a picture of me with my big, it's on Facebook with my big old long ponytails. And if you wanted, you could take your glitter glue and maybe give her some sparkles to her tutu, which if I still had them sitting here, I'd go ahead and do that and let it sit to dry. Might do that real quick. I'm gonna put some bling on her tutu. Some of this glitter glue has dried inside the bottles. So we'll see if I get anything out of here. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. I've never had that happen before. Let's see. What did I do? See, this is what happens when you clean. Nothing is where you left it. See, I don't know if this is going to be any good or not. I just want to give her a little sparkle. Come on, let me give her a little sparkle. Y'all hear that hawk out there? It's what you call a chicken hawk. Let's see here. There we go. I'm just going to leave it alone and let that dry. This is one of those things I need to just use them up some way. Maybe just spread them on paper and just get them used up because I don't use them often enough to get them used up before they dry. Oh, Kathy, I'm looking forward to seeing what you came up with. It's like I'm hitting a wall on hairstyles. Maybe she's doing a different kind of dance. We'll put this hand down on her. Maybe she's doing the, what's it called? The dancing where you're representing something. It's right there on the tip of my brain, but I can't remember what I'm trying to say. Now, if you wanted to print off a little message that's small and glue it to the front, you could, like an hello. I've got some hellos cut out, but they're cut out in black, so they wouldn't show on this anyway. She's got the Betty, whatever. Interpretive dance. That's it, Holly. You got it. That's what I was thinking of. Why couldn't I think of that? Yes, Barb's found relatives. Let me show you guys that. Let me finish this one because this is the last one. of these little gals I've got. Give her some high heels. Oh, she's got big long arms. Really big long arms. I don't know what she just heard, but it made her hair stand on end. Let's see here. I believe I know exactly where my little found relatives I did with Barb is. So I can grab that real quick. And then I think I'm going to have to sign off simply because I need to call that lady back so I don't have to drive to Columbia tomorrow. Hang on just a second. I think when I did this with Barb, she called them relative strangers. So I did a little look to make it look like an old-timey scrapbook like they did back in the day that had black covers and stuff. So this from 2017, I did these with Barb. So here they are. There's Susie and Hank. And ooh, that one's coming undone. I put them in, you run it through the machine and it melts the plastic around the stuff. Words is hard today. Matilda, Jackie, Gracie, and Nelson. My mom and my Aunt Marty helped me name these. There's Biff, Aunt Anna. That's Jughead and Rajik. Tommy's my favorite. I love how Tommy turned out. And Maddie and Marvin. A laminator. Yeah, words is hard. So those were my relative strangers I did with Barb back in February of 2017. So I'm going to set her up here because her tutu's got to dry some more. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little girl cards, and some of y'all will be getting one of these. Whoever, I've got Annelle, Mary, Brittany, Terry, Lutz, Sharon Lombard, Mitzi, Artful Esther, Lori, Journey, and Fran Baker is who I have that said they were sending to me. So anyway, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to go call the heating and cooling people. I've got to get that set up. So y'all take care, and if I can, I'll be on tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Just trying to give us a little bit of something fun to do for an hour together each day this week. And I might continue it next week, but we'll see. Okay? Bye, guys.